What up, guys? This is Agent Rocco here. I'm going to go over just what we do to our Mark 23s on the warduck team. This is the one that Brandon, Agent Sin, just got. So I'm going to chrono it, then I'm going to trick it out and make it like the one you see in all my videos. So let's get started. I might cut it off here and there just because depending on what I have to do, I don't want to hold you hostage to BS. So let's go to chrono this thing. I'm going to chrono it with 2 O's because that gives you the hardest FPS. And on a hot summer day, even with my really long barrels, I'll use 20s just because I want it to get out there and go quick. It doesn't really matter if they don't get perfectly loaded. Obviously, you might, shoot a blank, but it's not going to make it not work. So move this out of the way. So, and I always use propane with a little silicone. I'm sure you guys know all about that. So, when they're new, they're a little bitch to load, but there we go. Okay. Like I said, 2 O's with propane. Now, mind you, it is winter right now, so it is cold. I wish it was hot because I could, it probably won't crone as high as it could possibly crone because it's cold, but we're just going to go for it anyway. I got glasses on, guys. Don't do this without eye protection. So we're at 318, right? Do a couple more. 309, 306, 283. See, because it's cold, it's getting colder and colder each shot I take, so we're going to stop. And for testing reasons, I'm just going to take this mag, I'm going to put it in my pocket, let my body heat warm it up. I suggest you do the same if you're trying to play with this out in the cold and you don't want... When I got mine 13 years ago, I don't think there was a problem with customs, but this little square notch out of it, I think it's because they weren't allowed to have HK, because I don't think it's a Japanese gun, but I don't think they got the rights to use the HK symbol. Not a big problem, whatever. So this part's going to be boring. Going fast forward if you know what I'm doing here. Everything's stiff on these guys when you get the new one. Bam. Okay, bam, bam. Okay. Now, if you're wondering about those clones, those SIIT clones that they make, because you're seeing that they're $100 and you're thinking to yourself, oh, hey, $100, get a Mark 23. I bought one. I bought another one. My teammates bought one too. And you'd think everything works, but it actually won't let you put upgrades in it. So if you buy one and you don't mind keeping it stock, that's fine. But if you try to upgrade it, you're going to be disappointed. I'll tell you what I use and why. And I did get a lot of false information online from different forums and stuff. And you guys can go ahead and explain to me how and why I'm wrong. I welcome you to debate it with me. But there's a lot of guys using, 50s and 40 plus weights, and they swear by it. And they swear that's just the way you go. That's just what you got to do. That's false. I've done weeks and weeks of testing. That's all wrong. I'm here to tell you. Take it from me. Don't believe me if you like. But heavier weights, first off, they're slower. Second off, they're not more accurate. If you want a laser beam, I would use the 20s, the 25s. Now on my own, I don't have to carve it out. This might be a newer model than the original ones, and they might have changed some stuff. So normally, I would have a maple leaf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this maple leaf Autobot. This is like the baddest of the baddest. You got your 50s, 60s, 70s. I believe this is either an 80 or 90, but this is stiff, so this will give you a good pop. If I was him, I would buy a blue one. I like the blue one the best. The green one works better. The blue one shoots harder. And this one shoots the hardest, but is the most finicky from my testing. This is just me. And mind you, I'm in Northern California, so usually my weather is, hot days. So anyway, so we're going to get started. So this is the only barrel I'd roll. I have the 300 mm, and I believe this is the 229 mm Poseidon. There's a lot of bullshit online with guys talking a lot of smack, telling you got to use the Miracle barrel, or you got to use a 601, and you got to do all this stuff, and they swear by it. Dude, I have all the barrels. I have them all. None of them outperform this Poseidon. This is just one of many I have. This is the Maple Leaf VSR 300mm. Does not work as well as the Poseidon's. And Poseidon, I can get in California easy. You know, those other barrels like the Miracle Barrel or you name the other brands. I went down the list trying to get them all, and by the time I got them, I was really disappointed because they didn't wow and amaze me. This is a 605. So yeah, there's air cushion. There's people talking smack online saying that the air cushion doesn't work. Wrong. Sorry, it does work. These are the best. And the 229mm fits perfectly with this thing. My sponsor at Foundry Airsoft, you can find him on Instagram, makes these flash suppressors. These are excellent. He must have had it in mind for this because the barrel sits flush, you'll see. So I wouldn't go 300mm like you'll see in my Mark 23. I have the fake Osprey silencer, so the barrel's going all the way through, and it's a, you know, it's like a 12-inch, 14-inch barrel or whatever. I'd prefer just using these guys. This is way less hassle, way less finicky. And the reason I'm not using one is because I have one of those sick-ass from Europe Mark 23 injection molded holsters. You know, they're just click in, they almost look magnetic. Well, when you put this flash suppressor on it, the super cool flash suppressor, it's not going to click into that holster unless you mod either the, I guess you got to mod the holster, and the holster's $100, so I'm not really into modding that, you know. You do get a cool little patch though. That's pretty cool. Some days I rock that patch. I'll let Brandon have that one. All right, so let's get this Autobot on here. Of course, as you know, you got to get the groove to line up the groove. Pretty simple, right? Now, this is a brand new barrel, and this hop-up's brand new, so, I mean, it probably has to break in a lot before it starts performing really well. We might get lucky today, but if I had to guess, it needs to be broken in a little bit more. But we'll see. So yeah, this little square goes into this little square slot. You know, if you watch my first Mark 23 review, I'm pretty sure I have all that on there. So we're going to be using a top-down center rail cover to replace this, and it's going to replace our hop-up with this eye key right here and this top-down center grub screw. Now, Hadron Designs makes sick-ass ones of these. They make doubles, they make better singles, they make really cool shit, but they're out of stock a lot, you know, and when they do come in stock, I don't have, you know, the funds to always just run out and order them. Blue Bunny Designs on Instagram, DA Blue Bunny Designs, he makes these out of his house, and they work just fine, and I can get them to me no problem, and he sent me a couple on the house because I was a Mark 23 enthusiast, and I really had to schmooze him, you know, but he's a good guy. Hit him up directly, I'm sure he can get you one. I don't think he's mass selling these, but if you're in a pinch like I was and you need one of these, he'll get it for you. Okay, so because we're replacing the hop-up with, we're not using the hop-up wheel, the traditional wheel in this guy right here. Other people might tell you to keep them, don't. Now I have an extra hop-up arm. You'll see the difference between these two arms here. One I cut, and one I didn't. I'm going to let my buddy keep his stock one. You know what I mean? I'm not going to cut his stock one because I have an extra cut one. And you'll see I cut it on this arm here that goes up, and you'll see why in a minute. So when we're putting this back together, of course we want to be delicate. I would actually take a little flathead too, buddy, and just push this guy. We want to be gentle when we're putting these plastic screws back in. I know you're thinking to yourself, why hasn't he put the arm on? Why hasn't he put the eye key in? Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to show you why once I get these on. Always make sure that you set this spring right by pulling it out. It's not the end of the world, but you know, the shit won't go back together. And a lot of guys have a lot of videos, and I'm sure a lot of people think they know more about this gun than I do, but they'd be wrong. I've been running this particular platform for 14 years. I've done everything, and I've tested everything, and with my current one with the 300mm barrel with .25s, I can hit a body, normal person sized body, at 120 feet, no problem. And I can hit a coaster or a CD at 80 feet. Not like dead off, but I can hit it, you know what I mean? So I spend weeks and weeks testing these parts. You know, I took time off work to do testings, and I like to think I know what I'm talking about after all that. So now that's... Oh. Never mind, crisis averted. I thought maybe after all I did have to file down something in the original plastic housing. So you can get these for $160 off Red Wolf, and I guess the model they're selling on Red Wolf, I guess you don't have to alter it because I'm getting it seated just fine. And I used to have to mod these a little bit, but this one I don't. So yeah, this is 2019, so if you're ordering one nowadays, it looks like you're not going to have to do a certain mod that I had to do. So anyway, okay, Now, the reason why I cut this arm that I was telling you about is because we're just, instead of me trying to put it all together with the hop up and the H key and then slide it back together, once I cut this arm off, it just slips in there, which is cool because we're not using the original wheel or the original arm anyway. The arm really is just there to hold this key into place. So I'm going to put the key in. You want to line up those two arms with that groove. If you get it backwards or something, no sweat, just take it apart. You won't need to take the whole thing apart, you'll just need to take off the top dead center. You need to get this out, take the top dead center cover off, and pop this guy back on. Bam. So that's why I cut off that little hook arm right there, because I just want to slip it in and out. I don't want to mess with it a bunch. Okay, now we're going to put our shit back on just like that. Now mind you, when I start shooting this thing to do its first chrono, I might have to adjust that grub screw, you know, because I don't know exactly where it's sitting in relation to the H key down there. So don't be surprised if when you put yours on, it's not right out the box hella good. Oh, next thing we got to do here. God, I hope I have the right thing for this. So this isn't nothing new. You can see this on anyone's Mark 23 custom page. You're gonna have to drill out this guy, this inner barrel, because, or this outer barrel deal, because the inner barrel won't slip through it without. So I'm just gonna drill it out, clean it out real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I drilled it out so that the barrel fits. So now, finally able to go like this. Like I said, there's like a million videos online that I learned all this from, that'll show you, you know, what to do. This isn't anything that you can't find anywhere else. Let's put this back in. Alright. Make sure that's intact. Cool. Bam. Right. Ba-da-da. Put that motherfucker thing right there. Let's get chroning. Remember, I had my magazine in the pocket to try to give it some body heat warmth. Ooh, man. That's so nice when it's brand new. My trigger's all worn out and shit. Ooh, 400! You see that, don't you? Well, dude, I'm getting me a new Mark 23. Holy shit. Mine, with a bigger barrel, only puts off 350. So, man, I'm getting me a new one, dude. This new one is the shit. God damn, 380. God damn. 389. I hope you guys can see that. 389. Let's get another one off. 397. God damn it. I'm not used to this camera, guys. I'm sorry. 397. Fucking goddamn. Goddamn. This thing works so much better than my old worn out Mark 23. Ooh, I'm super jelly. Oh, man. He's going to be fucking stoked. Alright. Alright, Brandon. Agent Sin. You're going to be fucking stoked now, dude. Alright, so, like I said, at Foundry Airsoft. They're the only guys I found that make this. Doesn't that look sick? Looks like it's supposed to look. You know what I mean? Super fucking cool. Different, too. Now, when you buy one of these off the guy, try not to over-tighten this little screw here. Because if you do, on my suppressor I got, I over-tightened it. And then I had to use a zip tie. So you just want to go taut. Just a little taut. You still get a rail here too, guys. That's way cool. Also, if you're wondering a holster and you're sick of it flopping, back in the day before I got my sick-ass click-in DTD, I believe, holster that clicks in like this, you'll see me use it in my videos. My last video I show it. Before I got that, in my early years, there was a way I went about it that made it super tight to my body. So take a good look at this. I'm sure you've seen this online. just a leg platform, just molly. Well, what I did is I popped the stitch open, I stripped out all the foam, and I popped a hole out the bottom so my silencer would fit. Not only did it work, guys, it's so tight to the leg. It's so fucking goddamn tight to the leg. There is no flop. In fact, my $100 holster that I use, that really nice one that you'll see, the super cool click and injected molded, that thing flops. This thing doesn't. And if you're thinking it's gonna fall out, trust me, guys, it's not. Especially if you're a sniper or you're someone who might end up going on the ground a lot, you know, you want this. It'll protect the gun's pretty paint job. Now I'm noticing because of these teeth that maybe I gotta, you know, hit this with a lighter and clean this up a little. But that's neither here or there, guys. This is what you want. Now I'm gonna mount his optic. And when you mount this optic, I guess the one that I put on my original Mark 23, I didn't go with this because these were like $25 a piece. But for my team, I bought a series of these for pretty much my team. If you're a warducks and you're a sponsored player, you buy the Mark 23, I trick her out. So anyway, so this guy has to be actually glued. I guess it fits on there good enough. It just doesn't stay on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this sumbitch to make sure that it stays on there. Cause yeah, it does click on there. As you saw, it does click on, and that's cool. But let's go ahead and glue it just to be double, triple safe. You know, we don't want this thing coming off and your sick ass red dot falling off. So we're gonna put a little glue right here and right here. Just a little though, you know. This is super loose. Don't go nuts, guys. A little goes a long way with this shit. Bam. Plus two, what if you make a mistake or something, you know what I mean? You don't want to have a fucking lifetime's worth of glue sitting up on there. Oh man. Did I do that right? I'm gonna wipe that off right now. Bam. Right now. Bam. Get the glue off right now. Get it off while it's still wet. Pay the price forever. Alright. Alright, that's on there. Let's get his red dot on there. Well, I mean, you don't need to watch this. If you want to turn it off, go ahead. I said my piece. So yeah, guys, run 20s. The I key, the top dead center. Remember, I got this from Blue Bunny on Instagram, and I got this off of @Foundry Airsoft. Tell them Rocco sent you. Both these guys, tell them Rocco sent you. Maybe they'll give you a deal. I don't know. But yeah, red dot works. He can adjust that later himself. Man, we are good to go. I'm gonna give it one more chrono test. God, isn't that just fucking beautiful? All right. Jesus Christ. Yeah, man, I might have to fucking get me a new one. This thing is just excellent. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, really do appreciate it. I post 2 actual gameplay videos a month, and then I'm gonna try to do more product reviews like this one here more often, but it really depends on if I'm really busy editing video or not. If I have a little free time, I'll do it. But other than that, anyway, thanks, guys.